Hey guys, I'm Raj Gaming, and I am your coach for the Las Vegas Corviknights. We are here for our Week 2 matchup. Let's get into it. To start things off, my opponent elected to draft 9 Mons instead of 10. We had a point spread. You had to at least draft 9 Mons. You could draft up to 11. He decided to draft 9, so fewer Mons to deal with this week, which is nice. The Mons I don't anticipate are these 3. Superior to shut off, I could see him bringing, but I think we have a Mon Among Us that absolutely shuts it down with Clear Smog. Superior's main stick is to set up with its contrary ability. It gets, I think, Leaf Storm, which drops your attack, but instead it would raise it by 2. I could see him potentially bringing it for Slowking, Gigalith, Dracovish. Those are primarily the mons I think he'll bring it for, but Among Us absolutely shuts it down. It can't touch it. Pangoro, I also do not anticipate him bringing, just because I think he has other things that do better on his team. He could bring it for if he was looking for something with priority, but I think he has better mon against me. Porygon 2, again, I do not anticipate him bringing it, just because I don't think it fits against my team too well. It could be a defensive Eviolite set. He wants to go that route, but I think he has things that are better. Alright, let's get into what I do think he's going to bring. Alright, so this is a very threatening team against me. He has a Dragonpult, one of the best Pokemon in draft. If used well, it can be run both physically or specially offensive. It has access to moves like Dragon Dance, Shadow Ball, Dragon Darts, its signature move. It can be a really big threat. Next is Landorus Therian, rocking the Intimidate, which lowers our attack for things like Dracovish, which could be hard to deal with. Gets access to U-Turn. Earthquake is flying type, so it cannot be hit by ground types, but is 4 times weak to ice, which we're going to make use of. Heatran, which has Flash Fire, so our Fire type charm won't do too much against it. It actually gets a boost in its attack if it's hit by a Fire type move, but is 4 times weak to ground with its Steel and Fire typing. Very bulky mod. It can be a trapper with Magnet Storm, forcing us to stay in. Toxapex, one of the best defensive walls in the game, rocking the Regenerator, water poison typing, super hard to break and has recovery in recover as well as Regenerator, super hard mon to break. Mega Garnivore, highly anticipate him bringing that just to be a super threat, hits fairly hard. He doesn't have to Mega first turn, so if he wants to trace something like our Sand Rush, he'd be fast in sand, which could be a big threat. And his final mon is Thunderous Therian, so that is the Volt Absorb, so I definitely anticipate him bringing that for Coco. Use Electro type, he gets the health back. That could be really useful for him, and I think he needs something to break our Slowbro. It's very threatening to his team. He has Dragonpult, but I can potentially take a Shadow Ball. I think having 2 ways to attack it and just Electro type's fairly good against my team. Let's get into the members of our team we did not bring. Alright, so I did not bring Halusha this week. I just didn't think it had a great matchup with his team. Next, Darm I didn't bring because of Heatran. I didn't want to give him any boost because Heatran's already fairly threatening mon, and I just didn't think it was a great fit, especially with him having a Toxapex. Registeel I did not bring just because I didn't think it had a great matchup. It could have been decent against Gardevoir, but it doesn't like Mystical Fire that thing has, and can be super hard to just, I didn't want it to set up on it or have those kind of opportunities. And Mega Absol I didn't bring. I didn't think it had a great matchup just because its Mega's super good against it, and it didn't have too much. It could potentially be good, but I didn't want to give its Mega any opportunities to set up. Alright, let's get into the Pokemon I did bring. To start off, we are going with a Choice Banded Mamoswine, Adamant, Thick Fat, Icicle Crash, Earthquake, Ice Shard, and Knockoff. This thing absolutely runs his team. Earthquake deals with the Heatran, Toxapex, Dragonpult. Icicle Crash also hits the Dragonpult really hard. Knockoff is there just to remove items, can be super useful. Ice Shard is a priority. Very hard hitting with the Choice Band, can just do a lot against his team. All we need to do is weaken his team, and this thing can go off. Ice is just really good against his team, and we can do a lot, and the Thick Fat allows us to live things like the Flamethrower on Dragonpult and that kind of stuff, so we should be able to hit that thing very hard. Alright, let's get into our next mon. Tapu Koko, I thought a Calm Mind Roost set would be really good this week. We can Calm Mind on things like Toxapex, being able to Calm Mind on that. Getting a Thunderbolt could be super good. We have to be mindful of Landers that basically destroy us, but we are able to 2-shot it with a Calm Mind, so if we predict it, if he predicts to switch in on like a Thunderbolt, we can hit it with a Calm Mind, and we should outspeed it and be able to hit it again. Calm Mind does a lot to that thing, and that was part of the reason I didn't want to be Specs or anything locked. I did not want to allow that thing to have a free switch into us. Alright, let's get into our next Pokemon. Dracovish, we are doing Choice Band, Sand Rush Dracovish, Standard Dracovish for me, Vicious Wren, Outrage, Psychic Fangs, and Crunch. This thing does a lot. Vicious Wren destroys his team. Psychic Fang is there for the Toxapex, can be very good. Outrage and Crunch do a number to one of his biggest threats, Dragonpult. We are able to hit that really hard with an Outrage or a Crunch, and Sand is going to be brought in a second, but this mod absolutely runs his team. Vicious Wren just destroys most Pokemon. Just have to be mindful of that Toxapex. Alright, let's get into our next mon. Gigalith to set the sand for Dracovish. This thing is very important this week. Stealth Rocks helps a lot. Stone Edge is great. We actually have Stone Edge this week to one-shot the Thunderous Therian. We are able to one-shot that thing. And Earthquake destroys his Toxapex. Rest is there for longevity. Very much important this week. And this is basically to help support Dracovish. Alright, let's get into our next mon. Alright, Among Us, we have an Assault Vest Among Us this week. This is there for his Mega as well as Dragonpult. We are able, if he's like a DD set, we are able to hit Foul Play. We will one-shot it. This can affect his Mega greatly. We are able to live a Psychic no problem and be able to hit it really hard with the Sludge Bomb. I think we do over half, so if this is like a worst case scenario or it's Calm Mind, we can Clear Smog it and help get rid of that so it's less of a threat. Alright, let's get into our next mon. Alright, so our final mon is going to be Slowking. Slowking can do a number to his team. It's very good against his Toxapex, his Heatran. It's pretty much great against his entire team. I think a Scald, Slack Off, Scald to hit his Heatran. Psychic is there for his Toxapex, and Slack Off for recovery. Ice Beam to hit just the rest of his team. Both the Therians do not appreciate an Ice Beam. Let's get into the battle. Alright, so he brings what I anticipate. I'm going to be leading my Gigalith against his Thunderous, which is great. We are going for the Stone Edge here 100% of the time. We one-shot, so, or we don't one-shot it, but we definitely go for, he has Grass Knot, which I didn't expect. We should pick up the KO here. Unfortunately, we missed
it by that much.
That really hurts, because he's going to be able to weaken our Gigalith tremendously, which is devastating. We should have killed him there. That is a 80% chance to hit, which is just ridiculous. So Gigalith is just gonna be really low, which is really unfortunate. I anticipate him to probably go Thunderous, maybe, or not Thunderous, Landorus, to maybe U-turn and kill this thing, or just go for he goes Dragonpult. He probably has U-turn on this thing. I'm going to switch into my Among Us just in case he DDs on my weak Pokemon. Can't take any chances. He just goes for the U-turn, that's fine. I have my Among Us in here. He probably goes Heatran here. He does. So I'm going to switch out immediately into my Slowbro, or Slowking rather, just in case he wants to. He probably goes for Rocks. But if he wants to go for a fire move, Flamethrower or Magma Storm or something, I want to make sure I have Slowking in here to take that no problem. He goes for Sub. That's really interesting. Maybe he anticipated me to go for like Spore or something. So that's really interesting. I am going to just Scald here. I kill it, or I can break it Sub 100% of the time. And I don't really know what he wants to go for. Slowking's pretty good against his team. So I'm going to stay in and just hit this thing again with the Scald. He probably goes into his Toxapex here, if he really wants to. He's definitely not going into his Pokemon. Yeah, Toxapex. Alright, so I can go for the Psychic on the following play. Turn. He can go for the, maybe he has Toxic Spikes if he wants to go that route. We have Among Us that can absorb them if that's the route he decides to go. Among Us is very good against this thing. He just goes for the knockoff, that's fine. We have Leftovers, that does nothing because its attack stat is just garbage. We are going to do a lot to it with Psychic. We do get the special defense drop, which is great. That's really amazing. Kind of helps make up for the miss because that forces him to switch, or he's going to lose his Toxapex. Yeah, he goes Gardevoir, that's fine. He is not Trace on his Gardevoir, which is cool. We get another special defense drop, so that's really helpful. We can go for the Scald here and do big damage to this thing. I anticipate him to probably Mega. Yeah, he does. I'm curious what he has. Hyper Voice, that's going to do a lot. A lot. To us, Scald should do a lot. We get a crit. Wow, we're really getting lucky. Except for the beginning. That start really hurt us, but we're getting lucky. I actually didn't know this, that if you die to hazards, sand does not go up. I was anticipating for sand to work, but unfortunately it doesn't. We can go into Among Us here and be able to hit it with a Sludge Bomb. We should be able to live any hit. He actually has Psyshock, which is absolutely devastating. Psyshock uses our defense instead of special defense, so it negates our just pretty much our entire defensive strategy, which really is devastating. We can go for the D-Gleam here. He does go Landorus, so we are able to hit this thing super hard with a D-Gleam. Alright, so I'm going to stand and go for another one. We should outspeed unless he is Scarfed. He is Scarfed. That's absolutely just devastating. We lose Coco, which is a huge problem. I can go Slowking here and hit him with a Scald. And be able to pick this thing off. We are definitely weakening our Slowking, which is a bit of a problem, because we need it for our heat. We can still destroy the rest of his team with Mamo, which is really good. We just have to be mindful. I'm going to just go for the Scald here in case he does something weird. He just goes for the Hyper Voice. That's fine. I am going to go Mamoswine now. We can hit this thing with an Ice Shard, be able to pick it off, which is no problem. Yeah, we definitely want to go for the priority because we do not want to take whatever he has. Alright. He goes to Protect, that's fine. Excuse me. So we are able to kill his Gardevoir, that's great for us. I wonder what he goes into, maybe Toxapex is his play. Yeah, we can go for the Earthquake, that's not a big deal. Or we can switch if he has something tricky. I think switching to Dracovish is a good play, so we're going to do that. He actually doubles into Heatran, so we make that read perfect. We have a free Vicious Rend here, there's not much he can do about it. So we should be able to pick up the Heatran. We do, that's great. He probably goes into his Dragon Pult, which is fine. And we're looking pretty good at this point. 2v2. Dracovish is going to die here, probably. Dragon Darts, that's fine. Kills Dracovish. We should be able to kill it with the Mamoswine. And we can kill Toxapex, no problem. So we're looking really good at this point. All we have to do is EQ. We live his Dragon Darts unless he gets a crit or something. We live no problem. And we can Earthquake him. He's Sash. That's just devastating. We're going to lose because he's Sash. That's really sucks. So we're going to take a 2 loss. That was great prep on my opponent's part. I think the Stone Edge really missed. We did get lucky in the rest of the game, which was good. That Stone Edge, we would have been able to set up Sand again, and that we would have just decimated the rest of his team. So that Stone Edge miss really hurt us. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.